Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to create a card with the Spellbinders Small Die of the Month Club kit. If you're new and want to know more about the Spellbinders clubs, I'll leave a link down below. But this is the club kit for July 2020 and it's so pretty, guys. There is 4 pieces in here, 2 beautiful florals that have leaves and little flowers that go along with it, a main flower, and then you get this little piece. This has 4 smaller flowers that you can actually layer on the bigger floral pieces, or you can add them as accents outside of the florals. I just think it's neat that they included that because I love dimensions, so if you can layer a flower, that's great. Now you get this piece. This is a beautiful archway that you can put upside down, right side up, or you can layer them together to create a beautiful frame. That's what I want to do with this today. This creates basically this frame, but in a thinner than the die itself. That's how I can explain it. But it's super pretty. We're going to jump in and create a nice card. Today we're going to die cut out all of our pieces. I actually need another piece of white cardstock for the frame piece. But once I die cut it out, I'm going to flip my panel over that has my florals on it, and I'm going to add post-it note tape behind it. Actually, it's not post-it note tape, it's electric tape from December's Journey, but it's a low tack tape. I want to keep all those little pieces inside my panel. Now here is your archway or your frame. You can see when you layer it together, it will create a perfect card front little decorative piece, which I love. Okay, now we're going to zoom in and we are going to do some coloring on our images. I sped this part up really fast, but guys, this is so easy to do and the outcome is so pretty. I'm basically taking 3 shades of my blue greens. These are Copic markers. You can use any kind of coloring medium you want, but I am kind of doing messy coloring. Messy coloring is so fun because you don't have to worry about staying in lines or staying outside of lines. And I'm just adding detail and swish marks on the same in the same pattern or wave that the leaves or the petals are going in, if you know what I mean. So if my petals are kind of curving up, I'll just do a little curved line with my darkest marker and then my medium marker and then blend it all in with my lightest. Now the next smaller florals, I'm just using 2 shades, guys. These are I have a red violet and then a red color. I have an R22, which is my darkest shade of the coral color, and then I have RV11. I think these 2 colors go really good together. And I'm just doing some messy coloring over my images. I kept them inside the cardstock panel because I can go outside the lines like I did here with the green. The greens that I used are G20 and G24, and basically I'm just adding a little detail with the darkest shade and blending it all together with my lightest. I love this color combination. I think it's just soft and beautiful. Kind of reminds me of a quilt I have in my daughter's room. It's super pretty. But it's super easy to do too, guys. Now all you have to do is pop them out. Those are the 3 little accent pieces. And then I'm going to leave these in and then carefully remove my tape behind it. And then this way, while they're still in there, because it's an outline die, and so those pieces that we colored in will pop out. And so I wanted to keep them in there, so I'm just using foam adhesive and adding it on the reverse side, kind of keeping them together. There's on the leaves, they punch out, so you want to make sure if you want to add a little bit of glue behind there to keep them in, you could do that. I just think foam adhesive is kind of serving double duty, keeping them together and it's popping them up at the same time. Now I did the same thing with my smaller flowers, just added foam adhesive behind it. Now we can just punch it out. We're going to flip it around here and punch out our image, and you can see how pretty it is. I mean, for being messy coloring, and it didn't take no time at all, and any color combination you have would work pretty too. But isn't that so pretty? I like that. When you have a die that's beautiful, you don't have to do much work to it. But there's the second one, 2 different ones. If you want to put the top one on corners, I think it'd be gorgeous. If you want to layer them both together like we're going to do today, I think it's gorgeous too. Now for my card base, I'm going to use oatmeal cookie. It's a Fun Stepper's Journey cardstock. It's like a craft. It's really nice. It's a nice weight too, guys. It's not too heavy, not too light. But that's going to be my card base size. And I didn't realize, but one of my little flower buds popped out, so I grabbed it and we're going to stick it back in its home. Okay, I want to create a frame that is A2 in size. So I'm bringing in a panel that's A2 in size, just regular cardstock that I used basically for stamping. I'm going to line up the first archway on the very top, add adhesive on the ends of my second piece, line up the corners on the very bottom of my panel, and just tack it down. And since you could use glue if you wanted, I thought tape runner would be less messy, and it works beautifully to create a frame, guys. Now you could adhere this with glue to your card front, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. For my sentiment, I'm using last month's Glimmer kit of the month. There's some beautiful sentiments in the Glimmer kit, and so I foiled it with some black cardstock, and I'll link that down below too if you guys want to check out the Glimmer kit. But I thought the sentiment was perfect. It says, "Friends make everything better." And I just added lots of adhesive behind my panel, and then I tacked it down to our frame here, and I think it creates a beautiful detail. Now to add a little bit of dimension, I'm using some fun foam. I'm going to add a piece right behind my sentiment, and then this way when I put it on my oatmeal cookie card base, it has a little bit of dimension, and the shadows from the frame in the background are so pretty in real life. Just love this, and it's really not too bulky. We're going to add a little more bulk with the flowers, but still not bulky. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove the release paper off of all of our florals. Just kind of arranging them around our sentiment. I think this is going to go best on the bottom right corner. And then this is going to look really pretty here. It's overhanging on the F from the Friends, but I still think you can read the sentiment beautifully. We're just going to remove the release paper and tack these down. And then after we have that done, forgive my messy frizzy hair, goodness gracious, but I wanted to trim down one of the leaves. It was hanging over on the R in the better, and so I just trimmed it off and tucked it over on the top floral. I'm going to go ahead and add the smaller florals, not layering them, but I'm adding them as extras on my card. Just added dots of my white Nuvo drops for the centers of the flowers for a little bit of dimension. Then we're going to add some sparkle over our main flowers, and then last but not least, I'm using my white gel pen, and we're adding some dotted detail and some lines to the flower buds and to the center of our teal colored flowers. But that is a project today, guys, using the Spellbinders Small Die of the Month Club Kit. You're gonna love it. Have a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.